In 100 years from now, you will be replaced. Not just you, but me and millions of others across this globe. We will all be replaced by the next set of humans unless we press the self-destruct button and blow up the earth. But joking aside, on a serious note, in 100 years from now, you and I will be gone. Evaporated, reduced to dust. And I remember a few years ago actually, and shocking I know, I used to have a severe stutter. When I say severe, it was quite bad. The stammer that I had was bad. I had it as a kid. I had a special private therapist and that didn't really work. And he went away for a decade or so when it came back. And I was fighting this arduous difficulty, so to speak. And I found this stuttering mentor who spoke about, and I've spoken about this on this channel, about overcoming your stutter in a natural and authentic way, which he helped me massively. And, you know, it just goes to show, and it's proof that in life, anything's possible. Me, a guy that stuttered, worked in sales for years. He had his own YouTube channel talking about self-development. So, you know, as I said, I have come from the trenches in many ways. So you guys can definitely do anything that you put your mind to, but I digress. What my mentor told me was something so profound. And he said, Kem, what are you afraid of? There were certain challenges and tasks that he would set me to do that were so daunting. And oh, that's so scary. What if I get rejected? What if they say no, and the cringe and everything? And this was all processing through my mind. And he stopped and said, but Kem, who cares? He says, in 100 years from now, you and I will be gone. The earth will still spin on its axis. Whether you die or not, the sun will still rise tomorrow morning. What are you fearful of? And I remember the information is so basic. It's not a revelation. It's not a new phenomenon. But you and I, we don't think of that on an everyday basis, especially when our fears are right in close proximity. And I remember I sort of just, it was like, obviously the guy was in Canada and, you know, he sat there, but it was a Zoom call. And I remember I sat there on the meeting and I was speechless for a good 5 to 10 seconds. I was really taken aback because it's extremely profound. It resonates with me massively. And I know for a fact that it resonates with many of you guys and thousands and millions of others. We don't truly think about this. When we come across our fears, because we all have insecurities and fears, please jot down, and Tim Ferriss, who is the author of The 4-Hour Workweek, a great book that I've read that I would implore you guys to read as well. But get a notepad and a pen that I always recommend you guys to do, and just write down your fears, all of your fears. And what is the worst case scenario? Why are you so timid? Why are you so shy? What is the worst thing that's going to happen? Because you're going to be dead one day and so am I. And all of this would have meant nothing. And of course, you can observe it both ways. You can observe it as, you know, I mean, it's an empty glass, unfortunately, but let's imagine it's a half full glass, right? You can observe it in two ways. It's either half empty or half full. You can always view it from the lens of, well, it's half empty. What's the point, Kem? You know, we're going to be dead anyway. So sort of why care? Why take risk? Why take action? Why don't I just sit there and just live a mediocre life? And I wouldn't knock that, because there's family members that I've had in the past that have had that mentality, not for me. Or you can observe the glass as half full and say, look, that gives me a phenomenal opportunity to chase after my goals, because I'm not going to be here in 100 years. So let me aggressively chase after my goals, and let's see what happens. Let's see what the universe delivers when I give 100% dedication and perseverance. So it's all about the two different mentalities. But on a serious note to you guys, please jot this down. Your fears. What is the worst case scenario? Why do you care so much, man? And it leads me on to my next point of caring so much what other people think. You know, and I say this in a very annoyance manner, because I was that guy that cared so much, that was extremely self-conscious, that always thought about what others thought of me or how they perceived me in public or my first interactions with them. And I stopped and thought after a while, especially after this interaction with my mentor, and thought, why do I care? Why does it even matter? Why does it even matter? Because you have to realize that most people are glad to see you fail. And there's a portion of people that don't care about you at all. You have to be on your team. Your brain has to be compelled to succeed. You can't have any doubt in your mind, because if you have any doubt, you're finished. There's enough doubters and naysayers there anyway. So you adding an extra one is not helping the cause. You have to be on your own team. You have to back yourself. You have to have conviction. I speak about conviction all the time on this channel because one of the very few things we have control over is our minds. But why do you care so much? Because as I said, 100 years from now, none of this matters. What will matter is the legacy that you live. It's the legacy that you leave behind when you have children, when you have a missus, and what are you going to be remembered for? You're going to be remembered for the time that you spend, the finite time that you spent on this earth. You're too scared to approach the girl. You fancy her, you find her attractive, but you're too timid and shy to approach her. Why? She might say no, she might laugh at me, she might swear at me, and I've been rejected by girls before. I've had success with women, sure, but I've had my fair share of rejections. Every guy goes with rejections. Shocking, I know, because I'm good looking. Jokes. But you understand the point. You almost have to go through these trials and tribulations. She says no, and there's 4 billion women on the planet. Why do you care? A, but 2, who cares? You're most likely never going to meet this person again. You go for a job interview, you get rejected. You're not fit for the role. Okay, cool, keep it moving. Take the constructive criticism on board. I've had my fair share of rejections and failures in interviews. I've also had a lot of successes. But that's part and parcel. It's part and parcel. It's part of the game. Again, why do you care? In 100 years, you're not going to be here. Who cares what the employer thinks? Who cares what the interviewer thinks? I have this business idea. Phenomenal. Sublime. Amazing. I'm scared that, the investors might laugh at me. I might not get the investment. Have you tried? Have you pitched? No, I haven't. I haven't pitched. I'm too scared to pick up the phone and cold call. What? What are they going to say? They can't punch you through the phone. They're just going to say not interested. 9 times out of 10, if they're going to reject you. They're not going to swear at you. A lot of them are going to be polite. And if anything, they might give you the constructive criticism so that you can go away, refine a business plan, and then come back stronger. But gentlemen, this notion of, I'm too shy, and you're not going to be here in 100 years. And that is the maximum. That is the maximum. You might die in a car crash tomorrow, God forbid. And then what? Steve Jobs presented, I think it was a speech or a presentation. I think it was at Stanford University in the United States when he was alive. God rest his soul. And obviously he was the former CEO and co-founder of Apple. So he was presenting this speech to a load of uni graduates, and he basically said this quote, and it still resonates with me, and I still remember this. But he said, "Live each day as if it was your last, because one day you will be right." And when you actually really understand and comprehend what he means by that, it's so true. What he's saying is tomorrow is never guaranteed. You don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow. The likelihood is, yes, you probably will be here tomorrow if you haven't got any major health concerns. But you just don't know. You never know what tomorrow brings. You just don't know. Within the click of a finger, you could be dust. You could be gone. So live each day as if it was your last, because one day, my friend, you will be correct. And you might not even have 100 years. You might not even have 50 years. You might not even have 10 or 20 years. So what are you scared of? The earth will still spin on its axis. The sun will still rise whether you're here or not. The universe doesn't care. Live your life. Say things and do things of conviction and watch your life change. Smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.